Well, last week's season premiere was a bit of a dud, wasn't it? How are we beginning this week's serial? Aha! Kicking things off the right way by fixing the recently exploded canine. Oh blast, here we go again.
What's the matter?
Well, now his probe circuit's jammed.
Oh, that's easy. Just waggle his tail.
Alright, tried everything else.
Thank you, mistress. Repairs complete.
Whoa. What in the heck was that? Oh blast, here we go again.
What's the matter?
Well, now his probe circuit's jammed.
Oh, that's easy. Just waggle his tail.
Alright, tried everything else.
Thank you, mistress. Repairs complete.
What? Huh? Oh no. Is this some kind of unstable time loop? Oh shoot, I'd better do... Oh blast, here we go again.
What's the matter?
We're in the 80s.
Thank you, mistress. Repairs complete.
Time loop. Gross. Ugh, no. Hold up. Let me just reverse the polarity of the neutron flow real quick. And... done. Yeah. Sorry about that. Chronic hysteresis. Nasty stuff. Right. To quote the Doctor,
First things first, but not necessarily in that order.
Meglos is the second serial of season 18, Tom Baker's final as the Doctor. A four-parter from 1980 that I had absolutely no knowledge of heading into this, aside from that DVD cover that always stood out to me purely because it looked like the Doctor was turning into a cactus. A delightfully bizarre concept I would love to see. But I know that the DVD covers aren't always an accurate representation of the episodes themselves. Well, let me cut right to the chase. I really frickin' enjoyed this one. After the Leisure Hive left me indifferent, to say the least, I didn't think I'd have much hope for this one, especially given the fact I'd never seen or heard anybody talk about it. But I almost loved it. Right from the very start, there's some awesome miniatures used as sets. It feels like ages since we've seen these utilised in the show. Sure, they always use miniatures for spaceships, but this really took me back to the black and white era. Also, I have no idea how they managed to pull off this special effects shot, where one character walks in front of an object while somebody else walks behind it. Because I'm pretty sure that object's not physically there. Plus, look at the shadows being accurately cast upon the ground. Blue screen, green screen, whatever. That is seriously impressive. I may have jumped the gun a bit there, but sorry, I just got genuinely excited to talk about a classic Doctor Who story for the first time in ages. The storyline itself, how best to describe the gist of it without giving away too much? Well, let's just say you could probably get away with referring to this one by its alternate title, Killer Cactus from Outer Space. I'm sure one of you's bound to get that reference. Andrew, maybe? Because yes, I got exactly what I wanted. The titular Meglos isn't a planet or a species. No, Meglos is the main villain, and I love him. He's even better than I expected, when he does indeed start out as an evil, sentient cactus. Brilliant! This is the kind of wonderful silliness I can get behind. Not sentient rocks like the Ogre. Pretty soon he does assimilate into a human form after kidnapping a random earthling who... Hey, that's literally the 10th Doctor's costume. Like, almost down to a T. Random. I just love him. Add him to my list of goofy green guys that I like, alongside Kroll and Shrek. But he's not played for laughs. Oh no. He is a genuinely intelligent and dangerous villain. His dialogue, and the writing as a whole, is fantastic. Simple phrases, like referring to the Doctor being stuck in his time loop as... like flies trapped in amber. Oh, that is some seriously good villain dialogue. And a very small interaction between him, still in the cactus form, and the scoundrel thugs that kidnapped the Earthling for him when they were trying to rob him shows that he's clearly thought this through. He's a lot smarter than they assumed he would be, and has an actual, well thought out plan. Little moments of great writing like that go a long way into building a believable universe for this setting. I hope that made sense. My grammar sucks. Unlike these magnificently designed sets, both the complex sci-fi interiors and lush exterior dense forest locations are so richly detailed. Again, this isn't necessarily new for the show, but it feels like it's been quite a while since they've stood out to me this much. Because quite a few of them lately, at least to me, Horns and Omon, Charter, The Leisure Hive, have been so-so. Serviceable, but nothing impressive. Probably due to budget restraints, so I can't complain too much. But when the story's bad, then I just can't excuse it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring this up again, but comparing Meglos to The Leisure Hive is like night and day. And if that upsets you, then I'm sorry for having an opinion. I know it can be difficult. But if you're looking for a reason to hate on me, what I'm about to say next might just give it to you. Call me a hypocrite, but this cult sacrifice didn't bother me. Yeah, I know, shocking, right? Coming from me, the guy who gets annoyed by all the tired, worn-out cliches of the cult storylines used so often in 70s Who, which almost always result in a ritualistic sacrifice. But here, it took me a while to realize that they actually were a sort of delusional cult. Because there was so much focus placed on two opposing groups of this one specific issue, there was a lot more to them as a group. More set up than just, hey, we're a cult and we're going to kill you. Plus, their supposed method of sacrifice is, unique, to say the least. While other boring Doctor Who cults go all out on their stupid rituals and blood sacrifices, here they just strap you to a concrete slab, suspend a giant rock above you with a few ropes, and then slowly burn through the ropes with a candle, causing it to fall down and splatter you into strawberry jam. Or cactus juice. Ah.
I like how in most of these annoying cult sacrifices it's like blood sacrifice or eaten by a monster, but here it's literally just burn a rope, get squished by a giant rock. Cliffhanger.
A giant rock. That's right, Kaiba. A giant rock. I can't believe what I'm seeing. A giant rock. It's a rock and it's giant.
All this talk of giant rocks and cactuses. Cactuses. Cacti. Cactus?
Cactuses? Cacti? Kaki? Continue?
Yeah, that. It might sound like this is an overly camp story, but I promise you it's not really. It's well thought out, with a planet full of a civilization of people that feel real, with genuine desires, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and emotions. A villain with a plan who executes it rather than just plotting in the background the whole time. It's a tight story, with practically no filler. I like the characters and their dynamics. The Doctor's old friend, the technician lady who's fed up with the higher-ups, the leader of the thugs and his dim-witted right-hand man who's obsessed with the Doctor's coat. Ugh, wish he'd kept that ugly thing. And of course, Tom Baker seems to be having a lot of fun playing the sinister Meglos at certain points throughout the story. Though I can't imagine him being too keen sitting in that makeup chair for hours, and I can just imagine how annoyed he must have gotten having to wear the prosthetic makeup. Though to be fair, this is probably my chance to say that, yeah, the makeup is really good in this serial. I don't normally talk about it because, you know, a lot of the times it's goofy, it's camp, it does the trick, but this time it's like, yeah, no, it does look like the Doctor's turning into a cactus, even if they are just gloves and a mask. Imagine wearing gloves. Come to think of it, it's never explained how Meglos could shapeshift into the Doctor. While watching it, you just kind of assume it's something he can do. But it is odd that he required some random human to merge with in order to leave his cactus form, yet he can perfectly mimic the Doctor just by looking at him on a monitor? I think you can catch a glimpse of him, like, touching his face in the background of a scene. So maybe he's, like, moulding his face like clay into the Doctor's face. Either way, doesn't matter. It's just something I noticed and I've talked about it enough. There's nothing I would call outright bad about Meglos. Heck, they even throw in a little pew-pew gunfight for a bit of fun spectacle. Although I will admit, the ending is one of those abrupt ones. It's not rushed like last week's, because it was actually set up, built up to, and then paid off. But, like, the entire plot's resolution and tease for the next episode take place all in the span of a minute kind of thing.
1 minute?
The only two things I wasn't super keen on with the story were, one, the random cult leader lady dying. It didn't add anything, and it was super contrived and pointless and didn't go anywhere. I don't even think anyone reacted to it. And secondly, the villain, my beloved Meglos, for whatever reason, decides to escape captivity right into a place that's about to explode. And he knows it's about to blow up. I don't know, it just seemed a bit dumb. Too convenient of a way to kill off a villain that I would have gladly seen return again in the future. Think of the possibilities! And that's it for Meglos. Both the character and the story. Another wonderful surprise that I really recommend. Like, genuinely, not ironically like The Power of Kroll, which I also really like. Nah, this one's really well made and entertaining. And as for that tease that the TARDIS team are required back on Gallifrey, well, let's just say it seems we're heading for the end game. It feels weird saying that we're in the end game now when we're only 2 serials into the season. Though when you think about it, the rest of the season is contained on 2 DVD box sets. So join us next week when we take a look at the E-Space trilogy. I'm looking forward to it.